Hello friends, I welcome you in lecture number 6 on Taylor and Maclaurin series. In this lecture, we will discuss some more variety of problems related to Taylor and Maclaurin series. So let's start with this first problem. Here we are asked to prove that 1 plus z raised to alpha is given by 1 plus alpha z plus alpha times alpha minus 1 by 2 factorial z square plus alpha times alpha minus 1 times alpha minus 2 over 3 factorial into z cube and so on. So if you can remember, this series on the right hand side is very famous series known as binomial series, and it is nothing but Maclaurin series expansion of the function 1 plus z raised to alpha, and this expansion is valid for all z satisfying absolute value of z is less than 1. For example, if we consider alpha equal to minus 1, then we will have 1 over 1 plus z, and this function is not analytic at the point z equal to minus 1. So the distance of the center of this Maclaurin series, which is z equal to 0, so distance of the center from this point at which this function 1 over 1 plus z is not analytic is nothing but 1. So therefore the series of 1 over 1 plus z will be valid in the open disk mod z less than 1. So whenever we will have negative powers, we will have 1 plus z in the denominator. So in that case our function will not be analytic at z equal to minus 1. So therefore the Maclaurin series expansion will be valid in the open disk represented by absolute value of z is less than 1. Now we can use Taylor's theorem to find out this series. We can consider this as f of z, and by calculating its value and its derivatives at z equal to 0, we can obtain this binomial series as Maclaurin series of this function. And if you observe, all these coefficients can be represented by that combination notation. If you recall, the combination of r objects out of n objects is given by n factorial divided by r factorial into n minus r factorial. So these coefficients are nothing but these coefficients can be represented in terms of notation of combination. So instead of writing in this individual terms, we can represent this right hand side series in sigma notation in this way also. So if we find out alpha c0, then it is 1. So here we have 1. Then alpha c1 is alpha, so this is alpha. Similarly alpha c2 is by definition alpha factorial. Here 2 factorial into alpha minus 2 factorial. So we have this alpha factorial can be rewritten as alpha minus 1 into alpha minus 2 factorial divided by 2 factorial into alpha minus 2 factorial. So alpha minus 2 factorial will cancel out, and we will have alpha times alpha minus 1 divided by 2 factorial. Okay, so either they can ask you in this sigma notation or in this notation also, but both are the same thing. We are writing this right hand side series here in sigma notation. So these coefficients are known as binomial coefficients because they are the coefficients in binomial series. So we try to prove this by taking f of z equal to 1 plus z raised to alpha. So because we are interested in powers of z, our center must be 0. So we find out value of f of z at z equal to 0, and it is 1 raised to alpha, that is 1. Similarly, first derivative is alpha times 1 plus z raised to alpha minus 1 into derivative of 1 plus z with respect to z, which is 1. So this implies value of derivative at z equal to 0 is alpha into 1 plus 0 raised to alpha minus 1, that is 1. Second derivative is this alpha as it is. Derivative of this is alpha minus 1 times 1 plus z raised to alpha minus 2 into derivative of 1 plus z is 1. So therefore second derivative is given by alpha minus 1, and if we put z equal to 0 here, we have 1. Third derivative can also be evaluated in the similar manner. Alpha into alpha minus 1 constant, derivative of 1 plus z raised to alpha minus 2 is alpha minus 2 1 plus z raised to alpha minus 3 into 1. So therefore third derivative at 0 is alpha times alpha minus 1 times alpha minus 2, and we can find out further derivatives in the similar way. Now we put all these values in the formula. So first we write down the formula of Maclaurin series. Maclaurin series of f of z is given by f of z equal to f of 0 plus f dash 0 into z plus f double dash 0 over 2 factorial into z square plus third derivative at 0 over 3 factorial into z cube, and so on. So now we substitute values of these derivatives, and our function is 1 plus z raised to alpha. Value of function at z equal to 0 is 1. First derivative is alpha into z, and second derivative is alpha into alpha minus 1. So here alpha minus 1 over 2 factorial into z square. Third derivative is nothing but alpha minus 1 alpha minus 2 divided by 3 factorial into z cube, and as we discussed, this is valid in the open disk mod z less than 1, and this we can write in sigma notation also. So 1 plus z raised to alpha equal to sigma n equal to 0 to infinity. Here we consider alpha cn times z raised to n, and this is valid in the open disk mod z less than 1. So this is one more standard Maclaurin series expansion, and we will remember this, and using this standard Maclaurin series expansion we are going to consider some expansion of other function in the next problem. So we will remember this binomial series. 1 plus z raised to alpha is given by 1 plus alpha z plus alpha minus 2 alpha minus 1 over 2 factorial into z square, and so on, or sigma n equal to 0 to infinity alpha cn z raised to n. So now we find out Taylor series of this function with center z0 equal to 1. That means Taylor series of this function in powers of z minus 1. Now here our function is rational function in which degree of numerator is strictly less than degree of denominator, that is degree of numerator is 2 and degree of denominator is 3. So this rational function is proper rational function. So we can first find out factorization of denominator, and because this rational function is proper rational function, we can express this rational function as a sum of partial fractions. So first we find out factors of this denominator, which is z cube plus z square minus 8z minus 12. So we will find out the first root of this polynomial by putting divisors of the constant term in this equation or in this polynomial. So divisors of constant term, which is minus 12, are plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 4, plus or minus 6, and plus or minus 12. So we can try one by one, because we know that if there is any integer solution of this polynomial equation, then it must be a divisor of constant term. So we are able to find out if there is any integer solution by trial and error by putting these values. So if I try z equal to 1, I will have 1 plus 1 minus 8 minus 12, which is never 0. So z equal to 1 is not the root of this polynomial. So we try for z equal to minus 1. If we put z equal to minus 1, we have minus 1 plus 8 minus 12. So this is also non-zero. So there is no possibility of plus or minus 1. So we try for, say, z equal to minus 2. So for z equal to minus 2, we have minus 8 plus 4. If I put minus 2 here, I will have minus 8 into minus 2, 16 minus 12. So you can see this is 20 and this is minus 20. So z equal to minus 2 is root of this polynomial. So we can find out two other roots by the method of synthetic division once we obtain the one root. So here, because z equal to minus 2 is root of this polynomial, one possible factor is z plus 2. So we find out two other factors by method of synthetic division. Here we put z equal to minus 2, and here we write down coefficients of powers of z starting from z cube. So coefficient of z cube is 1, coefficient of z square is 1, coefficient of z is minus 8, and here minus 12. Now we put 0 here, we add these two and we multiply with minus 2. Similarly, 1 minus 2 is minus 1, minus 1 into minus 2, which is 2, and minus 8 plus 2, which is 6, and here we have, this is minus 6, minus 8 plus 2. So minus 2 into minus 6 is 12, and we obtain 0. So second factor is nothing but z square minus z minus 6. Okay, these are the coefficients of z square, z, and constant term. So we try to further expand these factors, z square minus z minus 6. This we can rewrite as minus z can be rewritten as minus 3z plus 2z minus 6. So from this we obtain z into z minus 3 plus 2 into z minus 3. So again, factors of this quadratic factor are z minus 3 times z plus 2. So therefore our denominator is nothing but z cube plus z square minus 8z minus 12 is z minus 3 z plus 2 into z plus 2, that is z minus 3 times square of z plus 2. So we have one non-repeated linear factor and another repeated linear factor. Now we find out representation of f of z as a sum of partial fractions. So here first we write down f of z is 2z square plus 9z 2z square plus 9z plus 5, and denominator we write as multiplication of these factors. And because this is proper rational function, we can always represent it in terms of partial fractions as a over z minus 3, b over z plus 2 plus c over z plus 2 square. Because z plus 2 is repeated, we have to consider two constants b and c. So now we will find out these values of this a, b and c. So for that we first multiply this whole equation by z minus 3 into z plus 2 whole square. So therefore we rewrite this equation as 2z square plus 9z plus 5 equal to a times, here z minus 3 will cancel out and we have z plus 2 square. Here 1z plus 2 will cancel out and z minus 3 into 1z plus 2, and here z plus 2 square will cancel out and we have c into z minus 3. So we give this number 1. Now first we put z equal to 3. So we can directly write down when z equal to 3, we put z equal to 3 here. So we have 2 into 3 square 9, 9 into 3 plus 5, and for z equal to 3 these two terms will become 0, and this is going to be 3 plus 2, that is 5 square, that is 25. So this is 18 plus 27 plus 5 equal to 25 into a. And if we take, this is 27 plus 5 32 plus 8 40 and plus 10. So this is 50 equal to 25 times a, and therefore a equal to 2. Now we put z equal to minus 2. So we put z equal to minus 2 here. So we have 2 into minus 2 square, that is 4, and 4 into 2 is 8, plus 9 into minus 2, that is minus 18, plus 5. And this becomes 0 for z equal to minus 2, this also. And if we put z equal to minus 2 here, we have minus 2 minus 3, that is minus 5 times c. So here, and this is going to be minus 10 plus 5, that is minus 5, equal to minus 5 times c. So therefore c equal to 1. Now to find out value of b, we have to compare the coefficients of either z square or z in equation 1. So suppose we compare coefficients of z square in equation 1, then first we write down comparing coefficients of z square in 1. Coefficient of z square on left hand side is 2. So we have 2 equal to, in the first term this is z plus 2 square, so we have z square plus 4z plus 4. So coefficient of z square in the first term is a. In the second term, if we multiply these two, then we have z square. So there will be only one term with z square, because this is z square plus 2z minus 3z minus 6. So the coefficient of z square is b, and there is no z square term here, so we have plus b only. So therefore b equal to 2 minus a, and a is 2. So therefore b is 0. So b is 0, c is 1 and a is 2. So we put values of a, b, c here and let us see what we obtain for f of z. Okay, so therefore f of z becomes a is 2, so we have 2 upon z minus 3 and c is 1. A equal to 2, so 2 upon z minus 3, b is 0 and c is 1, so we have 1 over z plus 2 square. So let me check again. Here a equal to 2, so we have 2 upon z minus 3, b is 0 and c is 1, so we have 1 over z plus 2 square. So now we try to represent these terms. We require Maclaurin series expansion, which we require Taylor series expansion with center as z0 equal to 1. So we require Taylor series expansion in powers of z minus 1. So we have to find out, or we have to represent these two in terms of z minus 1 first. So here we can rewrite 3 as z minus 2 or z minus 1 minus 2, and same thing here, we can write 2 as z plus 1, z plus 3 minus 1, and then we will try to adjust in terms of z minus 1. So here first I write this 3 as z minus 1 minus 2, and here I write this 2 as z minus 1 plus 3. Okay, because I require Taylor series in powers of z minus 1. So here you can see minus 3 is rewritten as minus 1 minus 2 and 2 is rewritten as 3 minus 1. Now we want to use that Maclaurin series expansion of 1 over 1 minus z. Instead of z, we have here to set our functions, these two functions we have to set in this form. So first we require 1 minus something. So for that we can rewrite this denominator here. If I take minus 2 outside, I can rewrite this as 1 minus z minus 1 divided by 2, because I am taking minus 2 outside, so here I have to divide by 2, so I obtain. So if we can check, minus 2 into 1 minus 2, and minus 2 into minus z minus 1 by 2 is z minus 1. Similarly we have to rewrite here also. We require 1 plus something, so here if we take 3 common, then we have 1 plus z minus 1 by 3 and whole square, so that we can rewrite as 3 square into 1 plus z minus 1 divided by 3, and we can check if we multiply with 3, we have 3 plus z minus 1. Now we again rewrite this as this, we can rewrite as, here 2 will cancel out, and we rewrite this as 1 over 1 minus z minus 1 divided by 2, and same thing here, and this I rewrite as 1 plus z minus 1 by 3 to the power minus 2. Now here in the first term we are using this Maclaurin series expansion of 1 over 1 minus z, which is sigma z raised to n equal to 0 to infinity. So we can observe that now we are having this in this form 1 over 1 minus something. So instead of z we have z minus 1 by 2. So using this Maclaurin series expansion, here I obtain sigma n equal to 0 to infinity z minus 1 by 2 raised to n. And for this second series we will use that binomial expansion which we just proved before this, and as we have shown, it is sigma n equal to 0 to infinity alpha c n times z raised to n. So here if we compare with 1 plus z raised to alpha, instead of z we have z minus 1 by 3 and alpha is minus 2. So here sigma n equal to 0 to infinity alpha is minus 2 cn, and instead of z 1 plus z raised to alpha, instead of 1 plus z raised to alpha we have 1 plus z minus 1 by 3. So here we have to replace z by z minus 1 by 3 raised to n. So here we are using two standard Maclaurin series expansion, and as we know we have 1 over 1 minus z. Maclaurin series expansion of this is valid if mod z is less than 1, and that binomial series expansion is also valid if mod z is less than 1. So these two series are valid. So for the first series is valid if absolute value of z minus 2 by z minus 1 by 2 is less than 1, and second series is valid if absolute value of z minus 1 by 3 is less than 1. So here in the bracket we have to mention that this first series is valid if z minus 1 by 2 has absolute value less than 1, and we also require for second series absolute value of z minus 1 by 3 must be less than 1. And we can rewrite these two series as sigma n equal to 0 to infinity z minus 1 raised to n divided by 2 raised to n. So here I write in this way 1 upon 2 raised to n z minus 1 raised to n, and for second series we can rewrite as plus 1 by 9 sigma n equal to 0 to infinity minus 2 cn z minus 1 raised to n divided by 3 raised to n, and we can write 9 as 3 square, so that will combine with this power of 3. So here we write minus 2 cn as it is, and z minus 1 by 3 raised to n equal to z minus 1 raised to n over 3 raised to n. So now we write one more step. This is sigma n equal to 0 to infinity 1 over 2 raised to n z minus 1 raised to n, and here we can take this 1 over 3 square inside summation, and we will have minus 2 cn divided by 3 square into 3 raised to n, that is 3 raised to n plus 2 times z minus 1 raised to n. So now we can combine these two summations because their index are same, sigma n equal to 0 to infinity. So we collect the coefficients of z minus 1 raised to n. In this second series we have minus 2 cn divided by 3 raised to n plus 2, and here the coefficient is 1 over 2 raised to n, and into z minus 1 raised to n. So this is Maclaurin series expansion of given function, and we have to check about validity of this expansion. So as we have discussed in this step, that this first series is valid in the open disk mod z minus 1 by 2 less than 1. Okay, this series is valid in the open disk absolute value of z minus 1 by 2 less than 2 if we take this 2 on right hand side, and this second series is valid in the open disk mod z minus 1 less than 3. So sum of these two series is valid in the intersection of these two open disks, which is nothing but absolute value of z minus 1 is less than 2. So this Maclaurin series expansion is valid in the open disk absolute value of z minus 1 less than 2. So this expansion is valid in the open disk with center z equal to 1 and radius 2. So in this way we can obtain Taylor series expansion using some standard functions. So I hope you like this lecture. Thank you very much.